Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've got a quick question for you. If you are working 9 to 5 here in the UK and you're paying your bills and maybe putting a small amount aside each month and wondering how do I make this money grow, then don't worry. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the basics, the main ways in which people invest their money and why I personally went for Vanguard World Index Fund and how very quietly the compound interest works in the background. Now, why I personally choose stocks and shares ISA account. So stick with me. This might be one of the most valuable 5 to 10 minutes of your week. So before we get into the video, I just want to let you know that I am not a financial advisor. I'm only going to be sharing what I do in my personal life, and this is my opinion. So this video is going to consist of 4 parts. 1, different type of investments that are out there as far as I know, and 2, where exactly I invest my money, and the third is compound interest, how it works, and fourth is why I personally choose ISA stocks and shares. So let's get into it. So part 1, different type of investments. Let's keep it absolutely simple. When you hear the word investing, it can sound like only posh bankers in the city do, right? But actually, we've got few common options. First is cash savings. Stick it in a savings account. It's safe, but interests are usually very low. In fact, they are usually less than inflation, which basically means that your money is growing slower than the rate at which the prices are increasing. So in reality, you are getting poorer, but just slowly. The second category is properties. Buy a flat or a house and rent it out. Sounds good on paper, but you do need a big deposit. You've got tenants to deal with, and then there's maintenance on top of it, and there's all sorts of upfront costs. And it's not very hands off. The third type is individual stocks. Buy shares in a company like British Petroleum or Apple. If the company does well, you do well. But if it tanks, you lose. It is risky and it takes time and knowledge to keep up with it. The fourth category is called funds. This is where it gets interesting. A fund is basically a basket of different investments. Instead of betting all your cash in one company, you spread the risk across hundreds and sometimes thousands of companies. And quite honestly, for most normal people like you and I, and in my opinion, funds are usually the easiest and least stressful option. Part 2, my investment. Let me get straight to the point. Out of all the funds that are available out there, I choose the World Index Fund. And there's a very good reason for that. And let me give you an analogy to describe my rationale. Picture this, you're at a horse race. You've got no clue which horse is going to win. You could try to guess, but chances are you'll be wrong, or at least the odds are not in your favor. An index fund is like saying, forget it, I'll just bet on every horse. Some will lose, sure, but plenty will win, and you will, no two ways about this, in the long run, you will keep up with the average result. And I'm someone who is very comfortable in going for average results. The Vanguard World Index Fund invests in thousands of companies all over the world. Big names like Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, but also loads of smaller firms that you've never heard of. It's basically a slice of the entire global economy. And I'm saying, this is me, in my opinion, that the global economy in the long run will do well. And the best bit is for someone like me with just 2 brain cells who's not clever, this is meant exactly for them. And I'm not saying my audience are not clever. All I'm saying is you don't need to think too much about this, i.e. you don't need to check the stock prices every day. You do not have to worry about the PE ratio of a company, the global capitalization. You just buy it, sit back, and let the world economy grow with time. And historically, that's exactly what it's done. And the World Index Fund has historically grown about 7% after inflation. And I'm personally quite happy with that return. And there's a very good reason why I'm happy with that sort of return. is because I have a very good understanding of compound interest, which is my third part. Now, you might be thinking, this 7%, does it really make a huge difference? This is where compound interest comes in, the sneaky little superpower of investing. Let's say you put £100 each month. After a year, that's 1,200. And let's say your investment grows by about 7% annually on an average. You don't just earn 7% on the money that you've put in. You also earn on last year's growth, then the year after, and you earn on the growth of the growth. Yes, at first it will feel slow, but after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it snowballs into something huge. That's why Einstein supposedly called compound interest as the eighth wonder of the world. It rewards patience. So I'm not here to suggest any quick wins because I don't know the mantra to that. And now part 4, why I choose Vanguard ISA stocks and shares. Now, if you're living in the UK, here's the cheeky UK bonus, the ISA. ISA stands for Individual Savings Account. And with a Vanguard stocks and shares ISA, and all the money you make inside it is tax-free. No capital gains tax, no dividend tax, nothing. You can put up to £20,000 a year in an ISA, and that's what I do, which is more than enough for most of us. Why does this matter? Well, if you invest outside an ISA and your money grows, you'd usually have to pay tax when you sell. Inside the ISA, every penny stays yours. And over a long period of time, I'm talking about 20 years, 25 years, the tax saving is massive. Personally, I just set up a direct debit straight into my Vanguard stocks and shares ISA. It automatically buys more of the World Index Fund, and I don't even think about it. I just let the time and compound interest do the heavy lifting. Now, I know this was a very short and hopefully it was a very informative video. So to wrap it up, there are loads of ways to invest, but most are either too risky or too much hassle. Vanguard Index Fund, the World Index Fund, spreads your money across the world's economy. Nice and simple. Compound interest is the long game. It only rewards patience. And the Vanguard ISA makes it all tax-free in the UK. And let me repeat this, I am not a financial advisor and this isn't a financial advice. Just sharing what I do as a regular working person who wants my money to work as hard as I do. Always do your research, but honestly, the earlier you start, the more future self will thank you. And if you found this useful, give it a like, please subscribe for more straight talking money tips. And drop me a comment, please. What's your current approach to saving and investing? Thanks for watching. This is Mekhi. Life is good. God is great.